The Astronomical Midlands, or Astrolands programme, is based in the Irish Midlands in Burr, County Offaly. 2 years ago, in early 2019, we started this public engagement and education programme built around the Irish Low Frequency Array Radio Telescope, ILOFAR, and the historical Leviathan Telescope, both located in this Midlands region of low uptake of post-secondary education and underrepresentation in science, technology, engineering and maths fields. The project was supported by Science Foundation Ireland Discover Programme and Trinity College Dublin. Having a heritage of world-class astronomy research as well as a modern observatory in the locale are valuable platforms which allow us to discuss astronomy, space science and more, connecting with students, teachers and other members of the public in local rural communities in the Midlands. Astrolands has 3 key initiatives: Space for Exploration, Space for Students and Space for Teachers. With these programmes, our ambition is to inspire and support teachers, students and the general public to engage with the science, engineering and radio astronomy of LOFAR. Since launching the Astrolands programme in 2019, we have had much success with this and are continuously reviewing and improving our offerings. In our first year, we engaged directly with over 4,000 people through astronomy and Burr guided tours, evening talks and events in the local town, visiting school groups, teacher training sessions and more. Our second year, 2020, saw our engagement levels increase to over 4,500, despite obvious challenges and setbacks, and this trend has continued for early 2021. We achieved this with a number of different approaches to various types of events. Since going fully online in 2020, some of the obstacles we faced included continuing to engage a local audience, redesigning programmes with a small team and limited resources, and making potential audiences aware of our new offerings. For our evening events and talks with researchers, which before were run in an informal, casual setting such as a local bar to allow for extended questions and conversations, we switched to an online format, using standard video conferencing and webinar platforms. We collaborated with other regional festivals and events to broaden our scope, including Offline, an annual local Offaly Film Festival. We also joined wider reaching events such as Pint of Science, Culture Night and European Researchers Night. Through running different event formats for these evening events, we found that hosting a panel discussion allowed for the creation of a casual, relaxed atmosphere and encouraged more engagement with the audience. If we only had one speaker for a given event, however, we would compensate for this with having the host interacting with them by passing on live audience questions to veer away from lecture-style talks and towards more engaging conversations. It is important to note that we have also made a point of arranging a chat with the researchers who would be speaking prior to any event to ensure the tone and content were pitched at a suitable level and to make them feel at ease in an unfamiliar online setting. We have improved as we went along and hosted more events by noting what was popular and effective and changing aspects that did not work well. We had been planning to run summer astro camps in our dedicated exhibition and workshop space beside the ILOFAR telescope in 2020. This of course could not go ahead, but we were determined to run the camps in some form, so these too moved online. This presented new challenges and required redesigning activities and getting familiar with the capabilities of online formats. While developing content for the online astro camps, which we ran for a range of ages from 9 to 18 years, we were conscious of keeping activities off screen as much as possible, allowing participants to get hands-on and physically involved as they would with an in-person camp, and also of participants joining from a variety of socio-economic backgrounds, so not making assumptions on the materials they would have access to. Of course, the basic requirement of an internet connection and a device to join with was not something we were able to get around, but it seemed like a manageable one for the most part, as anything from a PC, laptop, tablet or smartphone could be used. Regarding materials for activities, for example, building models to communicate and understand astronomical scales, we worked off the assumption that participants would have basic household materials available and designed the activities around that. Where more specific items were needed, we included them in an activity pack posted directly to each participant. This also had the benefit of giving them a tangible element to the online astrocamps and included items such as stickers and badges as astrocamp keepsakes. With our connections to a number of academic institutions, we could also include talks and conversations with astrophysics researchers, which was a very valued opportunity by the astrocampers to talk to real scientists live in a small group setting. The numbers of participants were limited to 20 per camp to allow for this increased level of engagement and ensure that the hands-on activities were clearly led with a small team of facilitators. The online astrocamps were a huge success and we ran them again in spring this year over the school Easter break, and hopefully we will run a new version again this summer. Some additional benefits to online astrocamps were that we could host researchers from anywhere in the world, time zones permitting, rather than a smaller pool of locals, and also participants could join from further afield. We had astrocampers from all around Ireland and some from elsewhere in Europe too. Another benefit that came from this was that the online camps, where young people could join from the comfort of their own home, meant that some participants who may not have felt comfortable in a room of unfamiliar people were able to fully participate from a safe setting without any anxiety. We also ran online continuous professional development training sessions for second level teachers. The Irish Junior Cycle curriculum for ages 12 to 15 was updated in 2014 and includes a strand on Earth and space, which a large number of teachers are unfamiliar with. We ran sessions going through newly developed classroom activities, which we had tried and tested, and included downloadable resources such as worksheets, presentations, and detailed lesson plans co-created with teachers and student teachers to ensure effectiveness. These received overwhelmingly positive feedback, and we are currently preparing similar sessions and resources for primary school teachers. This encourages teachers to pass on information and knowledge of astronomy to young people in an engaging way to keep their interest and encourage them to seek out more. For this year and going forward, we are planning to continue online delivery of public talks and events as well as summer astrocamps for young people. When we are able to deliver in-person events again, ideally we would like to incorporate an online aspect with a blended format. The aim is that this would allow audience members and participants to continue benefiting from the positive aspects of online events, including increased accessibility and wider geographical reach, while still retaining the social and personal feel of live events. This is something we are working on, and the continuation and future expansion of the Astrolands programme is also dependent on funding. To find out more about iLOFAR and the Astrolands programme, check lofar.ie and follow iLOFAR Ireland on social media.